Welcome back to Tales from the Darkroom. Tonight's story is not just about a doll, it's about a curse that should never have been awakened. If you're listening to this at night, lock your doors. This is the Evil Labubu. It started as a joke. 4 friends, that includes me, rented an old wooden cabin deep in the forest. We were there for a weekend escape, you know how it is, drinking, telling ghost stories, and laughing about the things that scared us as kids. That's when Mia, always the prankster of our group, pulled out a strange, dark wooden box she'd found hidden under a loose floorboard near the fireplace. Inside was a filthy, hand-stitched Labubu doll. Its synthetic fur was patchy and matted. Its button eyes were cracked right down the middle, and its smile stretched far too wide, as if it had been sewn by shaking, desperate hands. Tucked alongside it was a brittle, yellowed piece of paper, with words scrawled in a language none of us recognized. Jason, a few drinks in and feeling cocky, snatched the paper. He started reading the words out loud, mocking what he called the silly, cursed toy. The very moment he spoke the final, guttural word, the entire atmosphere inside the cabin shifted. The air grew heavy, cold. Outside, the wind didn't just blow, it howled like a wounded animal. And then, the doll's head twitched, just a tiny, sickening jerk to the side. At first, we all laughed it off, a nervous, hollow sound. But the laughter died in our throats when a single drop of dark blood fell from Jason's nose, then another and another until it was a steady, uncontrollable stream. His voice, which had been mocking just seconds before, broke into this hysterical, guttural laughter that wasn't his own. He clutched his head, screaming, "It's inside me, it's in my head," before his eyes rolled back and he collapsed to the floor. We rushed to him, but when he scrambled back to his feet, his eyes were milky white, completely blank. His jaw unhinged, stretching open far wider than humanly possible, a silent, impossible scream ripping from his throat. We looked back at the box on the table. The Labubu doll was gone. That night was pure chaos. We tried to get out to escape, but the heavy oak door slammed shut on its own, the old iron locks twisting and clicking into place without anyone even touching them. We ran to the windows, but they began to crack and splinter, fine lines spreading across the glass as if invisible. Clawed hands were dragging themselves across the panes from the outside. Shadows, thick and inky, crawled along the ceiling, twisting into grotesque shapes and whispering our names in Jason's distorted, echoing voice. Then came the screams, the real screams. Mia was the first to die. The doll, the evil little thing, suddenly appeared in her lap as she knelt by the fireplace, desperately trying to get a fire going, maybe to burn it. Its stitched grin, that horrible wide smile, tore open, revealing not stuffing or thread, but rows upon rows of sharp, needle-like teeth. Before she could even cry out, it latched onto her face, ripping at her skin like it was wet paper. She shrieked, a sound I'll never forget, blood spraying across the cabin walls as it chewed right through her skull. When we finally managed to pull it off her, there was nothing left of her eyes, just 2 hollow, gaping, bloody sockets. We scrambled in terror, trying to run upstairs, to find somewhere, anywhere to hide. But the hallway at the top of the stairs stretched, becoming unnaturally long, the doors to the rooms seeming to melt and warp into the walls. We heard a noise behind us and turned. It was Jason. He was crawling backward up the stairs like a spider, his limbs bending at impossible angles, the sound of his bones cracking and snapping with every unnatural movement. He was screaming, but in 2 voices at once, his own crying for help and something else, something ancient and hungry. His head snapped completely sideways on his neck, and that other voice whispered from his lips, "Labubu feeds." By the second night, the cabin itself felt alive. The floorboards seemed to pulse beneath our feet, like the veins of some great, dying beast. The walls wept a thick black sludge that smelled of rot and damp earth, and the Labubu. It kept appearing, in different corners of the room, perched on shelves, sometimes hanging upside down from a ceiling beam, sometimes just pressed against the window glass, its button eyes staring in, always grinning, always waiting. Sarah and I barricaded ourselves in a bedroom, piling furniture against the door. But it didn't matter. Sarah was staring into the small, cracked mirror on the vanity. Her face went pale. "It's behind me," she whispered. I looked. There was nothing there, just her and me and the dusty room. But in the mirror, her reflection showed the doll standing right behind her. Her own reflection, with its own will, slowly reached out, its hands wrapping around her throat. She was dragged, screaming, fighting against nothing, right into the solid glass of the mirror. We smashed it, hoping to free her, but there was nothing left but glittering shards on the floor. She was just gone. And now it's just me. I'm writing this on the cabin's rotting floor with a pen I found in my pocket. I'm surrounded by bloodstains, deep claw marks in the wood, and shadows that keep whispering my name. The doll is here. It's closer than it's ever been. It's sitting on the bed just across from me. Its matted fur is moving, a slow rhythmic rise and fall like it's breathing. Its grin is wider now, so wide it feels like it's splitting its face in half. The floor beneath me feels soft, yielding, like it's trying to swallow me whole. My hands won't stop shaking. I can barely hold this pen. I can hear them all. I can hear Jason's warped voice, Sarah's final screams, and Mia's hollow, gurgling laugh, all of them coming from the doll's tiny, stitched mouth. It's looking at me right now. I can feel its stare. I think it wants me to finish the chant. I think it wants to get out. The unsettling hum swells slightly, then fades to silence. That was the Evil Labubu. If you were ever unlucky enough to find a doll buried beneath old wood or locked away in a box, never ever read the words that come with it. Some toys aren't made for children. They're made for the dead. This has been Tales from the Dark Room. Thanks for listening. Sleep, if you can.